Hello all, here live with me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch, and I have a few things to talk to you about today, in which, the beginning of the video, I will tell you what they are. First, this is a sort of a mukbang, because I'm going to eat some toast while talking to you, and Alex made this beautiful jam out of a berry that's exotic. What's the name of the berry? I'm going to put it on like a wheat toast. The name of the berry, I think it's called Jabuticaba jam. Anyway, it's really gorgeous and beautiful, and it's not too sweet. Like, it's going to make a really nice jam and other things. Hey, Gabby, how are you? So good to see you. You changed your name from Gabrielle to the other realm, right? Because it's your same picture. Hello, Shannon, how are you? So we're going to do, like, a tiny bit of a mukbang. Hi, Kirsten. Hi, Y. Okay, so we'll do this mukbang with the Jukshai Farms jam. Also, we're going to do a little mini thrift haul that I got from the third-hand junk store up the road when I went to go send out my Etsy packages this morning. This morning I sent out 1 pound of juniper shavings that somebody purchased from Etsy. And it also has powder in it too, as the person asked. They're like making it for incense. They're like, how smelly is this? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't even explain it to you. So, I'm going to be putting the shavings in some of the orders. I also sent out a chicken's foot, and the little free gift was wormwood. But I have so many juniper shavings. I'm just going to start stuffing them as shipping, like packing. It smells so amazing. Okay, so I got 3 amazing things at the third-hand junk store, which I'll be showing you. I'm going to do a little bit more of a reveal on Gabby, who's here in the chat, of her self-love and law of attraction positive affirmation deck that we made the cards to replace where the powder puff is. And then, so I'll reveal like the progress on that, which will be super fun. And then also in this video, we're going to be talking about how stress can affect your menstrual cycles, as it has been on mine right now. Like stress and change and huge life changes, which right now I have moving, and I have the separation from my husband, and I just got my cat back. So like, we're going to talk about how that has interfered with currently in my life and also in the past, and just talk about how in general, don't freak out if you get off on your cycle, because, you know. So, and then my Patreon's below if you want to support the channel. There's exclusive videos there, kind of like a lot of pictures and updates about what I'm doing throughout the day. And then also exclusive videos that you can't see anywhere else. There's a few of them. There's going to be more. So I thought we'll just start with the third-hand junk haul. And I got some more stamps for my Oracle decks. Really cool. So this stamp was $2. Rubber stamps like this are usually like 10, 12 bucks. So this one was $2. It looks like a postage stamp with a little like frill. And it says, mouths without minds. I just really liked it. Mouths without minds. Hello, Nello and Rattle Trip Fishing. Here's another stamp I got for Oracle decks, and it was $2. And it's just some, like, it looks like white birch or white pine or something like that. But I mean, if you stamp it, it's not going to be white unless you paint the ink on there, so it just would be black and gray, of course. But, that's a nice size. Like, look how big it is, you know, in comparison. Like that. Stamps are expensive. And then I got these two for $1 each. So those will be great on Betty Page decks, pinup decks, anything like that. Hello, Jan's Life Journey. So nice to see you. Welcome to the chat. This one I love. I don't have any stamps like this. Any photograph stamps. This is perfect for the pinup decks. So perfect for the pinup decks. I love it. So the other side looks like this. Trippy, you guys. Do you see it? So I guess you just play around with it, lightly stamp it, press it on some paper a few times, see how it works. And then I told you I'm doing a vintage booze deck. I have enough to do like 4 or 5 vintage booze decks, just like I did the vintage food decks. That landline. And so here, I got this for $1 as well, and it's just like a little martini stamp. Like they gave up quite quickly. So yeah, you know, these stamps being $1 each, that's like nothing, you know. So I got those at the third hand junk store, and I also got, take a bite of You guys know how into snakes I am. Both with my herbal workings, because there's a lot of herbs that Scott Cunningham addresses in his books about how to enrage snakes, how to repel snakes, how to bring snakes closer to you. Okay? Now, some of these are like thistle, milk thistle in particular, and lemongrass. I want to say black cohosh was one of them. So I knew these like snake kits, and Rhonda S. got one from me, and she really enjoyed it. But I'm amping them up every new herb about snakes that I learn. Now, this is the ultimate amplification. I just got 2 rattlesnake tails that are taxidermy. One is quite small and one is quite large. And as you can see, they are jointed and they move. I mean, they will rattle if you touch them. I haven't touched them yet. So if you guys want some kind of art with one of these snake tails, or a snake calling or enraging, or just the snake kit that would have all the herbs plus this built into like an art piece or something, do let me know. Because that's what I plan on doing with this. Making 2 separate pieces with them, whether I do them in little. So yeah, quite happy about these rattlesnake tails. And please let me know in the message below, or find me on Jukshy Lady, JUKSHYLADY at Etsy. You literally just got a snake skeleton the other day and just finished cleaning them. That's amazing! You're gonna have to share with me how you clean your bones and get rid, you know, clean them off, because I tend to try to do that a lot, but it doesn't end up working out. Like, you know, it's difficult. Hey, Queen Ushindi, it's a long time no hear. How are ya? Let me know if you're still interested in Daisy May, because if you're not, that taxidermy transgender that I have, if you're not, I'm going to be selling her probably at a yard sale or something. We're going to have to throw a yard sale because there's no room for all my stuff. I would like to work with taxidermy. You send pretty ones on eBay and stuff, but it makes you feel uncomfortable. Yeah, that's the thing. If taxidermy makes you feel uncomfortable just in the pictures, you know what? Gabby, if you want, I can send you a chicken's foot, which is way probably weirder than a... I have a bat, too. I have a really small bat. I have some small things that if you want... But for free, I can send you a chicken's foot with your love deck. Then you can see if you feel uncomfortable with it altogether. If you feel uncomfortable with it being in its presence, just bury it as an offering to one of your deities. Or... send it back, you know, or whatever, or give it to a friend that might like it, or, you know. But a chicken's foot is a really good, easy way, because they're very protective, they're very cleansing, they're creepy but weird. It's a good way to see if like you would be comfortable with taxidermy actually around you. And then it's inexpensive, right? I think they cost like $1 or something to make, you know, and this the time to dehydrate it. Yeah, so I'll send you a chicken's foot, and then if you like that, I have one more teeny tiny bat left, and you could upgrade from, at another time, from the chicken's foot to the bat. The bat comes in a little belfry, and it has a little drawer, and I would put some herbs and stuff in there. So anyway, so the next thing on the list, oh right, so the last thing I got from the third-hand junk store is so cool. The bat and the belfry and everything with the herbs, and it's all painted and everything. I think I have that at $70, 70 or 75. I can't remember. But I'll let you know in a message on Juckshy on Etsy. Juckshy Lady. So the last thing I got is the most killer thing, and I always like to save my stuff for the best for last, I guess you could say. So I started with the Wicked stamps, and then we went to the cool rattlesnake tails, which are going to make some really awesome art and herbal workings, and just cool way to integrate taxidermy into a piece of art in your home, you know. This is fucking awesome, okay? It is so cool. So raise your hand if you like to go outside and do your workings at nighttime. And now that summer's ending, I mean, how do you guys like to go outside at night and do workings? A lot of us do. A lot of us do. But lately, my biggest frustration is that the candles that I have at the old place that have the hurricanes on the top. And Kirsten, I think you saw them when you were at my house. They're these wooden things with that you can put it looks like the top to an oil lamp down on it, and it's a candle holder with a little like handle. Okay. So those were working pretty well. But if it's like raining, rain gets down in the top and then it goes out. So I like to do my stuff as old school as possible. Really, I do. And this guy at the third-hand junk store, he's been looking out for all kinds of stuff. He picked up so much stuff from all the stuff I told him that I was into. And one of the things I said I was into was I needed an oil lamp that went outside. Well, this is not an oil lamp that goes outside. It's even cooler, if you ask me, because it's less dangerous. It is completely metal and wood. And what it is it is a candle burner that has air holes in the bottom so that when you set it on the ground it won't go out, and it has air holes up in the top, and I'll show you when we open it. This was $30, you guys. To me that seems like a really good price. I know that he probably paid like 18 or 20 for it if he's charging me 30, but I had no problem paying 30 for it. It's got this like lock. This is all wrought iron, and then this latch opens up, and then inside is this so that the heat and so that the light stays down and the heat stays away from your hand. Okay, and then as you can see there's also air holes at the top, and this is so because you guys know how the candle needs oxygen to keep a flame. So I'm going to be bringing this outside for all my rituals. Every time. This is like, I'm very stoked about this. He was like, it might need a new paint job. I'm like, no, I like it. It just is like kind of dinged up, and it's not the original paint, I'm sure, but it looks good to me. Now there's 6, I believe, 5 panels of glass. So that's cool because five shapes that come together. Isn't that the shape of the star? Like the pentagram? So that's interesting. And yeah, it is, absolutely. If you look down, you can see the shape without the star inside. Now, the candle that will go inside of here is like a thick taper type candle. A thick taper candle, or you can just burn I don't know, I'll probably have to get some candles for this and keep that in my stock and selection, but right now I know I have 2 cream ones that are going to burn in here, and I probably have about 7 or 8 hours of burn time on each one of those. So this I'm really excited about. Hello, Yosef. Hello, Jan's Life Journey. Hello to Tara. I think I said hello to Sue. Hello to Lola. I think I got everybody. Did I? Well, if I didn't say hello to you, hello and welcome. I think I got everybody. So now the next thing that we're going to talk about is what about magic? I did a thrift and I found this old lantern that's just going to help me go outside and do rituals in the dark and not have my flame go out. So that's where we're at with that. And then lastly, next on the list, we're here to talk about a tiny reveal of the progress on the Law of Attraction Self-Love Affirmation deck that I'm making. So again, that's the deck that we're going to put right inside of this old made in Japan vintage with a little mirror, like this was for face powder from like pinups and things. Hello, Hadrina. Welcome. Nice to see you. And so the one side of the cards has like the back of it, and it's very, very shiny, and I got it to as close of a thing to the powder puff as possible. It's a glittery paper. So one side has pictures, okay, and then the other side has just a white blank thing. Well, I'm still fixing the deck up. So over here, I've got, which ones will I show you? I don't know, let's see. This is a cool one. So this one, and I think, what did we do, Gabby? We did 40, I think there's 42 cards in here altogether. So this isn't necessarily an oracle deck, however, you could totally use it as an oracle deck if you just use the one side. Okay. So remember that, Gabby, you could use this as an oracle deck if you want, but it's created for like Law of Attraction, self-love affirmations. So on this side, it's I got most of these pictures from 1940s, 1950s, and 1960s family circles and 1960s Playboys. So this one came from a Playboy. It was a picture from an ad. It's got a really old fancy car, and then this, like, whatever you want to call him, a driver, picking up all this beautiful luggage, okay? Hey, Tracy, how are you? Hello to Raven Song. Nice to see you. So on one side, it's got that, all right? Now, if you were just doing Oracle, you know, you could just look at the picture and use intuition. However, this is something that you will look into the mirror. You'll look into the mirror and say this affirmation that I've printed on the back, okay? And we say it in Law of Attraction like it's already happened, like you've been doing this stuff for years. So here's my affirmation I say into the mirror after I'm looking at this card. To avoid stress, I take daily mental holidays. Okay, now this will come with a little tiny book that I make by hand that will say a little bit more on each card. I do that with all of my decks. I write a little handbook, but the card itself should be enough. However, if you want to really get into my thought on it, then you can just go over to the book. Okay, so to avoid stress, I take daily mental holidays. Now this could be talking about like meditation. It could be talking about checking out and daydreaming, which is a meditation in itself, I believe. Checking out and daydreaming so that you don't like go crazy. And I wrote them in general for just like your problems of your everyday person, you know, to try and shift and change. So here's another card I did. Oh, I like this one a lot. So here is the card, and it is a woman in kind of like a flapper type dress. This is from one of the 60s Playboys, and it's a black and white. This is a mix of black and white pictures and color pictures. Yeah, you told me to go with it, so I was just taking of pictures like from all kinds of stuff that I've got. I think I don't know, did I do an Edward Gorey? I can't remember. So here's the affirmation on the back. It's printed here. It says, and so you say it to yourself in the mirror every morning. I dance for joy and to shake hands with my true self. I dance for joy and to shake hands with my true self. Now, if I was just reading this as an oracle card, what's the first thought you get in your head when you see this woman? It takes a lot of practice to hear that first thought that comes into your head before logic comes in and ego. But you can do it. And so that'll be really fun, Gabby, for you to have this and use it both ways, yeah? So yes, I dance for joy and to shake hands with my true self. Because I feel when you dance and you let it out and you get so into the music, that's something that A, is like super uplifting and makes everybody feel positive, happier, just like rushes of endorphins, things like that, especially if you're dancing in front of people. And I think that that's really something. Okay, so what else? Here's one that's kind of funny. Here's the card. This is from a vintage, like 1966 Playboy, I think. And it's just from an ad. I think the ad was for laundry detergent or something. So there's one side of it. And then the back side, say into the mirror, commitment is something that I always think long and hard about. Because as you can see, they're tied together. And she doesn't look terribly happy. Commitment is something I always think long and hard about. And so I've written them like you've been doing it for 100 years. This is how we get things to resonate in law of attraction, and we get the good things to come into our life. Because if we sit there the whole day and say, I never have any money, or I never have any abundance, or I never have enough money to pay my bills or food to, or my car always breaks down. That's what's going to resonate around you, just like a big fat aura, and that's what the universe will know to give you. But if you walk around saying things like this, that's what the universe knows to give you, and that's how law of attraction works, at least how I've learned how to do it. No, they're not too specific, Gabby. They're not too specific, and you could really read them, either these would be okay for either gender, but obviously, it is super dainty. So I made the cards dainty. So we'll look at one more card, because I don't want to reveal the whole thing until we do the full reveal. Otherwise that would be boring, wouldn't it? Hi, Mama Wolf. So good to see you. How are you? Sue says, hi, can I ask you something? The pictures you collect to put in the card, does it matter with copyright? Yeah, I mean, if Playboy found my stuff, and they could certainly ask for part of my profits. Right. I mean, I'm glad that you asked, but it's, I guess, the risk I'm willing to take if Playboy ever finds me. That's why I only do one of a kind art with them, and I don't ever mass produce my dexes because I can't. It wouldn't be okay, because I would be copywriting the art. You missing the cards? We're going to show one more card, Art and Tarot by D. They would tell me to stop making them, and then they would ask for whatever money that I made on it. And let's say I sold 3 decks at $100 each, then I would owe them 20% of my profits or something like that. So basically, I'm doing a lot of clip art and putting it together, and yeah, I don't know if it's exactly like... It's a hard topic to explain because of obvious reasons. Okay, so moving along, and thank you for the question. I'm not at all upset by the question, at all. Let's see. This one's actually funny. I'll show this one. This one's funny. Okay, so here is the card, and it is a woman holding a fan, and this is actually a black and white and pink print. And there's can you see her there? She was in a brothel. She's holding a fan, and on the back is the affirmation in the form of future or it's already happened, law of attraction. To avoid conflict with other humans, I always step aside to cool off and think. To avoid conflicts with other humans, I always step aside to cool off and think. And she's holding a big fan there, as you can see. So the, you know, the part of the card that will be up when the deck is done, it will look like this. I'm just putting them on top of the powder puff, but this will be up, and then on the other side will be your affirmation for you to say into the mirror to yourself. And you could read these as often as you like, you know. I'm sure that you'll find some that you really like to read a lot more than others. And some are just brilliant, like for instance, like, this is the only nude card of the whole deck. This is the only nude card. There's this one, and she's just on a towel, and she seems to be eating something. And on the other side it says, I believe every part of my body is absolutely perfect. And because all of us are shaped differently, all of us probably have an idea of what we think we should look like, but that's not true. And I think it's so important for us to say this to ourselves all of the time. You know, because so many of us can go, oh, I like my eyes, but, you know, my nose isn't my favorite. Why? It's a part of your face, it's a part of who you are, and it's a part of the big locomotive that is your human being. And so, anyway, there's a lot of cards like that for self-love. But the ones that I read today were just more of, like, kind of humorous ones, I suppose. So, yeah. Gabby, that's going to be a killer deck. I hope that you like it. Now, quickly, we're going to eat some food. I did call it a mukbang because I'm trying to do that whole thing. Hey, Uncle Badger, how are you? Nice to see you. Yes, we are bits and pieces of our ancestors. Absolutely. What was that? Oh. Peggy's home. Jabuta Kaba Jam. Jabuta Kaba Jam that Alex made. So good. Just on some wheat toast. Sadly, falling in love with the show Love Island. So, Djibouti Jam. Something like that. Djibouti Jam. Look, it's the same color as that red velvet. It's really dark red. So, we showed this thrift haul. We ate some mukbang. We did a tiny reveal of the Law of Attraction Self-Love Affirmation deck. Now it's time to talk about stress and how that, and big life changes, and how that can affect your menstrual cycles. So, for those of you who don't know, I've done 3 30-minute videos probably about a year, 10 months, a year ago, about menstrual cycles in witchcraft and alchemy. And so without bringing that whole thing in and just saying you should, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, you should view them, whether you're male or female. It's great for both to know just the things that come up in there that are just information. Like the fact that your entire ancestry is held within your menstrual blood. Every single bit of it back to 0. So, with my marital separation, with my move, and with getting my cat back and all this craziness, I was 2 weeks behind, because I usually bleed a day or 2 after the new moon. which is almost perfect. You're supposed to ovulate with the full moon and bleed during the dark moon, okay? So I'm usually about 2 days past, and that's like how I know when to expect it. Well, the new moon's been a while, right? It's been almost 2 weeks or something, because I see the moon outside. It's getting fuller and fuller every day. So, that being said, I was like, wow, I'm really late. And the cool news is like, it's impossible that I would be pregnant, so I was just like, okay, so what's going on? Obviously, it's either my diet or stress. And it's just my diet, stress, life changes, things like that. But, so, you know, that came back, thank goodness. But it was just like, I had, it's a cleansing of all the shit that you've been through that month. Like, that's when your body just cleanses it out, in my eyes, and then gets rid of it. A great thing that you can do with it, though, like when you've moved into a new house, is pick a favorite tree or a spot that you like to meditate outside, and that first moon blood that you get, when you have your menstrual cycle at the new place, whether it be taking a paper product and burying it in the earth that you use to absorb, or whether you dump your cup into the earth like I do, and you save part of it for your workings, in the freezer or the fridge if you're going to immediately use it. How is there a bee on the inside of the window? I'm going to have to get that bee. That's insane. It's like a wasp. How did you get it? Oh, because the window's open. Darn it. Sorry, you guys. Hold on a minute. Shit. Huh. Well, there's a wasp in here. Where did it go? I'm just going to keep an eye on it and wrap up the video because the swatter's not down here. So, apologies, we're going to have to wrap it up. If you want to learn more about menstrual blood and witchcraft and magic and occultism, definitely check out my 3 videos that I did on that. I will talk to you guys very, very soon. If you need an Etsy order, my Etsy is Jukshy Lady, JUKSHY LADY, and my Patreon's below if you want to support the channel. It was so good to see you guys. I'm so excited about all of the new stamps, like for the pinup decks and stuff. These are righteous. Oh, I'm excited, Gabby, and Gabby's mom, who I believe also watches the channel, has crocheted me a pair of like thigh-high socks, which I'm so excited about. So, alright guys, I gotta take care of this bug. It's freaking me out. I'll talk to you soon, and I'll try and come on and do something outside with this and try and show you guys how much light it actually gives. Not that we'll catch that in reality on camera, but maybe. But this is definitely, with all of the air holes up and under there, this is really a piece that I'll have for the rest of my life. By the way, they still have that giant bean pot or cauldron that has feet on it, and it's, so if you're local, if you're like Kirsten or JR, my local friends, or even in, I don't know, whatever, but it would cost so much to ship it, but they have a giant cauldron there, and it's only 99 bucks, and it's old. It's old. Alright guys, all my love, Jenn the Taxidermy Witch. I'm super afraid of this wasp, so I gotta go. Kiss kiss ta. Bye!